turn these into these. I am the Great British Chocolatier and you're watching Chocolate Plus. Hey everybody, I just thought I'd cut in this video before you watch it. You're going to see in this video that I use wax paper. I would advise at the very beginning, don't use wax paper. Use a heavy set parchment paper or just put the product on the baking tray. Of course, I would suggest that you grease it up. But I am a chocolatier, and it just shows you that even those who've been working with chocolate and candy for over 10 years, that we still make some mistakes. So sit back and enjoy, and I'll see you at the end of the video. Hello and welcome to another episode of Chocolate Plus. My name is Mark, aka the Great British Chocolatier, and today we are going to make some Toffee Bark. So what we're going to start off doing is cutting up some of this caramel. Now remember, if you don't buy a big brick of caramel, you can buy those little toffee bits, caramel bits they're called. They're like little tiny pea size nuggets of caramel, if I can get my words together, and you can just put a whole batch of that in the microwave. So we're going to cut about, I don't know, about a pound worth, and I do have a scale here just to double check on the on the weight. So let's just do that. Yep, 14 ounces. That's good. So we're going to do 14 ounces and we're going to melt it up. If I can get the box together. There we go. So we're going to cut this up. Now, if you're going to use a very sharp knife, of course you're going to need adult supervision if you're working with this. Of course, if you don't, just be careful with the knife. And we're just breaking it up a little bit so that it can just melt quicker in the microwave. In fact, you know what? I'm gonna get a little bit more because I really want to have a nice chunk of caramel on the base. So we had 14 ounces, and now let's look at the tail correct. 9 ounces, so that's what? About £1.5. So, because I want to make sure that I cover this whole tray here. So, cut those up. Now we're going to put this in the microwave for over a minute because we want to really get it boiling. And what's going to happen is it's going to bring, because the temperature goes up, it's going to melt more of the water content that's in the caramel, and it will become a little brittle. So I'm going to put it in a minute at first, and we are going to get a bowl, and then I'm going to cut up some with a new knife now. Not the best knife in the world. And we're going to cut up some pecans. If you don't like pecans, you can use walnuts, and you can even use peanuts if you like. But I'm not going to use that knife. I'm going to use this, even though it's got... Now when you're cutting, you want to hold down one end of the blade, and you're just going to bring the top of the knife up and just move it over slightly so that all fingers are out of the way. And of course you can put this in a food processor, chop them up that way. let's just stop that for a minute. And we're just going to make sure we got a very rough chop of these pecans. Okay, they don't have to be super small or even. We're just going to make sure that our fingers are out of the way. And let's put this in here. I'm going to put a few more. You're going to make a mess, but that's okay because we can always clean it up. And again, you're holding down one end of the knife and just bringing it up slightly just above the nuts, the pecans, or whatever nut you use. And you're just giving them a very rough chop. Being careful, of course, not to get it everywhere. Just go slow and steady. Because this is what we're going to use to put on top of the toffee after we put chocolate over the top. So, and we want to use a soft peanut, a soft nut. That's why walnuts, pecans is a good nut to use because it's very soft and still got a crunch. So we put that over there, and we're going to get out our toffee, our caramel. Now remember, we don't put our fingers in this because it's going to be hot. Right now it's not, it's just a little bit soft, as you can see. So we're going to put it in there for another minute because we really want to get it up to temperature. And while that is doing that, we're going to put these to the side and we're going to use milk chocolate. Now you can use dark chocolate. This is just one bag, which is 12 ounces of chocolate, and we're going to lay that on top of the toffee caramel that's in the fridge. Now, one thing I forgot to do last time is use some spray, cooking spray. Not a lot in here, so we're just going to lightly spray this, and this just helps. This just helps the toffee not to stick to the parchment paper. Well, in this case, this is wax paper, but it's always good to add an extra layer so that it doesn't stick to the paper. And when this is done, it should just be starting to boil. I don't know if you see that, but it's just started to boil. This is red hot, so we don't want to touch it with our hands. And we're going to stir it only because we want to distribute that heat so that it's not centralized in one place. See that nice smooth. Now this would be good if we were making turtles like we made the other day. And you can mix the nuts inside the caramel or place them on top. But I'm going to actually put it in there for another minute, only 30 seconds, because I really want to get this up to temp so that it starts to boil a little bit. And once again, once it's in this stage, the temperature is very, very high. I don't have a thermal gun to tell me what the temperature is. So I have a digital thermometer, which should kind of tell us the same thing. And if it goes up that high, I'm about to find out. Oh, it says 300 Celsius. So we should be good. So let's just stick it in there. And this is Fahrenheit. And we've gone up to 170, slowing down, so about, it's 180 Fahrenheit. Oh, yep. So we're very hot, so we don't want to be putting our fingers in that because that would be really, really bad news. But we're going to keep putting it in there again for about 30 seconds. I'm going to leave this on here now. And put it in for another 30 because I really want to get the temperature up to over 250 so that it can really begin to boil. Now you could do this on the stove and you can stir it until in a pot until it's boiling for a few minutes. But we're using a microwave because it's quick, it's easy, and most of us have a microwave. And I'm not going to worry about this and that because it's all good. All right. It is boiling. Can you see that? So we are so super done. Now this again is extremely hot, extremely dangerous to touch. So you do not want to put any fingers in here at all. It'll be a terrible burn. All right. So what we're just going to do simply, I'm just going to pour it in and just let it spread itself out on the baking sheet, like so. Put that to one side, and I'm just gonna spread it around. Trying to get into all the corners, using the back of the spoon. Trying to get an even layer, and it will begin to set up kind of quickly. It's still extremely hot, so you cannot put your fingers in here. So children, you have to do this with your parent, and you have to be super careful in dealing with this, because like I said, temperatures now is over 250, and can create some serious burns. Okay, so we're going to we can do one of two ways. We can let this cool and then put the chocolate on top, or we can also just put the chocolate on top of here, and it will also, the heat of the caramel will melt the chocolate, but we're just going to give it, let's do that. So if I have to use 2 bags, I'll use 2 bags. Again, you don't want to touch the caramel in here because it's going to be super hot. If you had chocolate nibs, you can use the chocolate nibs too, because you don't really need to temper this at all. And I'm going to open another bag, I think. If you want to give it a nice a good coating. And don't worry about this. This chocolate's going to melt. Don't worry about that. All right, that's good. And now it's just a waiting game. We're going to wait a few minutes, and then the chocolate will begin to melt. And I'll be back in a few minutes. See you in a bit. Okay, and we're back. And what we're going to do is just smooth over this chocolate. As you see now, a lot of it is melted, and we're just going to with the back of the spoon, just smooth it over surface over the candy of the toffee, and that's basically it. So the heat of the toffee will melt the I can't get my words right today. The heat of the toffee that we made melted will heat the chocolate chips, and we're just basically covering the whole, giving it a nice surface, and covering up all the edges as best as we can. And so you could melt the chocolate yourself in the microwave and pour it on top. I mean, we have some pieces that didn't want to melt, but that's okay. Those are just few. But it's not going to change the texture. And then smooth it over as such. And before the chocolate gets too hard, too cooled down, we're going to get our chopped pecans, and we're just going to spread it over the top, like so. Let me just do it this way so that you can see. We're just going to just gently just put them over the top, any kind of way, trying to cover up so there's no big and this is pretty much it, and this will stick itself to the chocolate. If you find you don't have enough, you can always cut some more. So I think we're good here, and you can put this in the fridge for about 10 minutes and I'll be right back. It's going to be good. Okay, so here we have it. It's nice and firm up, cooler. I'm going to find our trusty pizza cutter now, and I'm going to attempt, it's still a bit soft inside, but we'll try and lift it from try and lift it from, there we go. And let me just give you a look at this right here. There we go. And there we go, look at that. Absolutely beautiful, delicious, with a toffee caramel on the bottom, with milk chocolate on top, with chopped pecans, and there we go. Let me just check the camera for 1 minute. Alright, so we're going to cut this up. Now hopefully, because of the spray, it's not going to stick too much. And we're going to do this about 2 inches, which is about 4-5 centimeters. And we're going to cut it up into squares. So my pizza cutter is such a great tool. Okay, I'm going to go a little bit big on this one, and then we're going to turn it around. I'm sticking to the cabinet bit, and I go the other way. Again, alright, no, I'm going to cut this. Yeah. Because what happens is that the piece of color cuts the paper, and very good. Okay, we're gonna get our tray here and peel it off. Okay, this is still a little chewy. Some of the paper's still stuck to it. And so here alrighty, it's good. So this is the end result. Next time we're not going to use wax paper, we'll use parchment, or I'm just going to stick it right on the metal, which should be fine. But toffee is extremely sticky, as is caramel. So we tried the spray, that didn't work. But here it is, guys. We have our toffee and chocolate with chopped walnuts on top, with a little bit of wax paper on the bottom. But don't worry, no one's going to eat them but me. And thank you for watching. I hope we learned something, right? So something that we can make it out of our own home and have fun while we're doing it. And let's use parchment paper next time, hey? So thank you for watching. Hit that thumbs up button. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell, and that'll tell you when other videos are coming up. Again, we're still in November, so we're still in caramel month. So I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great day till next time.